You understand? It makes sense to recreate Jesus to people, to give people a false Christ. A false Christ. Your sins have not been forgiven except you confess. In a false Christ, for him to heal you, you must eat bread and ribena. A false Christ is the Christ that if you don't go to pilgrimage in Israel, your sanctification is not complete. A false Christ always talks to you about a future. You will be forgiven. You will make it. You will get there. You will be blessed. That's a false Christ. And it makes sense to recreate a false Christ, because when you preach a false Christ, you can arrest many gullible people and put them under control. And in many churches, there's a false Christ recreated. A false Christ. Another Jesus. Another gospel. It makes sense. You know, it makes sense. I'm serious. I went to London to preach for this church, and the pastor told me to tell his members that they are all bound so that they can keep coming. That's how he has kept them. And the place is packed with a lot of London intellectuals. They're all sitting there like mumushus with all their PhDs and all their masters. You would think going to school is equivalent to wisdom. In fact, school can make you a dummy when it comes to the affairs of life. What are you talking about? They're all over the place. He's rolling some of them on the floor. He told me he gives some of them 6 months fasting. He will tell them they are demons. In fact, he told me there's a member he put on 6 years deliverance. 6 years so that he can go nowhere. He has plenty money. At least by the time 6 years has passed, he will have collected enough. I'm serious. You remember, I don't know if you were with us in the office of that bishop who went to preach for in London. The man said, you know, members are mumu. All of them are mumu. When I ask, he's telling me about his church members. When I ask them to bring money and they refuse, I will get a prophet. He will come here and do them like that, and all the money will come out. They are wicked people. Oh, that was my last day in that church. That was my last day in that church. They create a false Christ, and gullible people follow. We that are telling you the truth, you call us heretics. What a world! What a world! Why won't you call me heretic when I've not emptied your pocket? Why won't you call me heretic? Because if I was emptying your pocket, I'm punishing you with fasting. 3 days dry, no water, nothing. If water touches your mouth, the fasting is condemned. You start afresh. If I was doing that one, I won't be a heretical. That's the real man of God. He is moving people to Christ. What a world. Because the wisdom of God is foolishness to the unschooled and untaught mind. I'm teaching here. No, I'm teaching.